What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 11, episode 17. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hope you like this video. So look, we start this episode off. You know they like to do that whole split screen where they talk about the same thing in two separate places. So we have Candy, Portia, and Marlo meet up for lunch, and at a restaurant, and then we have Eva, Tanya, and Shamari meet up at Eva's house, and they're talking about the whole situation that happened at Nene's house. And they sort of have two separate, I guess, opinions about it. Because Eva's thing is, look, she asked them not to go in her closet. She asked them not once, not twice, but like 20 times, don't go in my closet. Don't go in my closet. Please don't go in my closet. By the way, don't go in my closet. Candy and Portia's thing was, I didn't think it was a big deal, but then she just kind of lost her mind. She just started really tripping and going off about it. Here's my piece on it. Nene asked them not to go in the closet. They shouldn't have went in the closet. Did Nene need to get physical? No, but I just think it came down to Nene didn't want those. She didn't get up out her seat until the cameraman decided to go in there. And she didn't want her closet filmed. Point blank, period. For whatever her reasons were. And, you sort of hear them have the conversation, and again, Shamari apologized to Eva for being drunk. And, she was like, I'm so sorry. I'm embarrassed. I just, and then she didn't remember anything. See, I've been drunk a few times in my life, but getting to the point where I don't remember anything, that's never happened. Some stuff might have been blurry, but I never get to the point where I don't remember what I did. And Shamari was like, she didn't remember nothing she did with the inappropriate touching of Tanya and trying to, get into, Eva's, shirt and the breast and all that. Like, she was like, I don't remember none of that. That's a lot to get to the point where you black out. Then on the other side, Marlo, you could tell that Marlo had talked to Nene. And what I found funny was when Portia and Candy was sort of talking about how the whole thing went down, honey, Marlo ain't remember nothing. See, Marlo is that friend you want with you when you out here doing some dirt, because Marlo don't remember nothing. Now, Marlo was sitting right there where everybody else was sitting, and Marlo was like, she did? I don't recall that. She put her hands on you? I don't recall that happening. She yelled. I didn't hear her yell. I said, Marlo, you better go ahead and be with your friend and have your friends back, honey, because Marlo didn't remember none of it. Marlo was right there. She knows exactly what happened. What happened, when, how, who, what, when, where, how. It all went down. But I feel like Candy and Portia's response to me is a little... Cavalier isn't the word. But just, I just don't, I feel like them acting like they don't understand why Nene, I don't know. I just feel like they were wrong. They shouldn't have went in the closet. I don't feel like Nene's response was warranted, but what you gonna do? Portia and Candy, who seem to be getting along really well, they decided that they were going to wait and figure out the best way to approach Nene. But then come to find out, Candy had reached out to Nene. So Portia was like, well, damn, I thought we decided we were going to wait, but you done went on without me. So now I look like the bad guy because now I'm the only one that ain't said nothing. And I was like, yeah, Candy, that was sort of a dick move. If y'all decided y'all were going to wait and talk to her together, you should have waited. And you should have waited. You should have waited. But she did reach out to Nene, and she said that they had a good exchange. They had a decent conversation. So then Portia was like, all right, well, I guess I got to, say what I got to say on my own, But that's pretty much how that went down. Now, there was something that came up about a belt being ripped off, and the production tried to get Portia to talk about it, and Portia was like, I'm not talking about that. She was like, I don't know what you're talking about with the belt. And they kept pushing it, and Portia was like, look, I'm not going to say nothing about the belt, because if I do say something about how that whole thing, she said, me and Nene will be in a really bad place. So I feel like Nene put her hands on Portia and ripped Portia's belt off. But Portia doesn't want to say that Nene got physical with her because whatever happened, I guess she doesn't want it to escalate to the next level, Um, then we see Cynthia, Eva, and Eva's friend. They're going out for colonics. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details of the colonic. I'm just going to talk about that. We got a chance to hear Cynthia's side of the story. Cynthia said that she hadn't been able to get in touch with Nene, only via text. But basically, her attitude was Nene felt like she didn't want them in her closet. She asked them not to go in her closet. They went anyway. And then production felt like they were going to film, and she didn't want her closet filmed for whatever her reasons were. And I agree with Cynthia on that. Like, I do. You know, I have my theory on why she didn't want her closet filmed, but it doesn't matter. She didn't want her closet filmed. So then we see Ronnie and Shamari. Now, I was talking to a girlfriend of mine this weekend. If you watch the podcast, you know I'm talking about Meek. She does the podcast. And Meek was saying how she felt like Ronnie is coming on, and you know I love me some Ronnie DeVoe. That Ronnie is coming off sort of as a controlling husband in this whole thing. And I was like, nah, I don't really feel like he's controlling. I don't get that vibe. But tonight I did. Tonight, Meek, I'm going to have to call you later on or tomorrow or tonight and tell you I see what you're saying. Because I did kind of pick up. There was a conversation between him and Shamari. And they were talking about Shamari coming home drunk and having a little too much to drink. And she was telling him what went down and how she grabbed on Tanya's crotch and how, you know, she was coming after Eva. And, you know, he was talking to her more like a father chastising a child versus a husband. Now, I understood him being upset because I would have been upset too if that had been my wife acting like that. And we know that they've had their issues in the past with her and another woman when they had their little open relationship. And I can see where he would be a little concerned or have an issue. But at the same time, he just came off real. He was like, that's the kind of stuff that leads to separation. And that's the kind of stuff that, you really need to get that under control. Like, that's a problem. I don't want to, his tone was very unsettling to me. But I see his point. It was just his tone and how he chose to say it, I guess, sort of hit me a certain way. But anyway, of course, Shamari's drinking came up a couple of times, and her attitude is, I'm a super mom. I'm a mother of twins. I don't drink at home. When I go out, I have a good time, and it is what it is. It happened, but I don't have a drinking problem, says the person who has a DUI. Now, that doesn't mean because you have a DUI, you got a drinking problem. I'm just saying, this season, we've seen a few things with you in this drinking. But, Portia's planning her gender reveal. She said that she did reach out to to Nene after the thing with Candy, after realizing that Candy reached out to Nene. And she said she talked to Nene and that, she seemed like she was in a good place with Nene, that, she said she apologized and Nene said she was sorry and that, she just going to give Nene a little bit of space and that she'll just see her at the wedding, at Eva's wedding. Because Eva's wedding is a couple of days away at this point. And Eva finally got all her dresses and stuff in place, and we'll get to that. So we practicing for this dungeon party, honey. This dungeon party looked like it was a beautiful experience. Even the pictures online, all the different celebrities that went and their outfits, everybody looked good. And you heard a lot of good reviews about the party and how the party went down. But we see them at rehearsal. Shamari's in the shows. We know Cynthia's in the show. And we see them kind of rehearsing, and everything looks like it's coming together really well. We finally get to the end. We see a lot of the party at the end, and she's actually taking it on tour. So I'm not sure if the tickets have already gone on sale, but she is taking the dungeon party on. I said the dungeon party. That's Outcast. The dungeon. I guess it was the dungeon party though. Anyway, she's taking it on tour. Eva's ready for her wedding, honey. She's got this is gonna be a quick review because there wasn't no whole lot there. She's got her wedding dress, and her mom is happy, and everybody's happy, and her bridesmaid's dresses are beautiful, and we meet the infamous Tiffany that Ivana is such good friends with, honey. I find it interesting that they didn't discuss that on camera, because you would think that that's something that the producers would have wanted them to discuss on camera, was whether Eva knows Ivana or not, and how close Tiffany and Miss Ivana are. But I found it interesting that wasn't addressed. I don't know about that one. It's the day of the dungeon party. Okay? It's not a whole lot with this episode. Everything is going well. Candy's getting a little nervous, but that's to be expected. Something this big that's getting ready to pop off that they put together in a couple of weeks. Shamari done lost her voice, honey. Shamari done lost her voice. She had a cold that turned into laryngitis, and she don't have a voice. And Candy said that her ass been singing all this time, and of course, Bravo broke that. They did flashbacks of all the times that Miss Shamari was singing. She said after all of that, she been doing all this singing, and now the time that I need her to sing, she can't sing. The good thing though is they had laid the track to the song, and so all she had to do was lip sync without fucking it up. And she did a good job, and she was very energetic, and she worked the stage. She looked good. And it looked like the song, it was full of, it ain't nothing you're going to hear on the radio because it was full of a whole lot of cursing and stuff. But you might get it on the B-side. I guess we don't have B-sides no more. That's old school right there. When I say B-side, only old school folk know what I'm talking about with a B-side. But it'll probably be, knowing Candy, you'll be able to find it. You'll be able to buy it somewhere. The funny part was with Cynthia, because they didn't tell Cynthia exactly what she was going to be doing. And they called Cynthia out on stage, and they basically, she embarrassed the hell out of Cynthia. She asked Cynthia some very sexually explicit questions, honey, and took her off guard because she wasn't ready, but Cynthia did okay. She rolled with the punches, but you could tell she was just totally out of her element. But she did good. She did good. And it looked like overall the show was a really good show. They had a lot of different acts. They had to keep sort of, blacking out some of the stuff because some of the stuff we couldn't see on TV, honey. Not basic cable. And at the end, you see all of them came. Marlo, Tanya, Yvonne came. Nene didn't come. Portia didn't come. Eva didn't come. But they came backstage, and Miss Marlo starts telling Tanya that she can't hold her liquor because she done pushed Marlo on the floor, honey. Marlo was like, if you don't get me off this dirty ass floor and don't you push my ass down again with your tight ass wig, Marlo got mad. But she starts telling her, well, you can't handle your liquor either, just like Shamari. And she starts talking about Shamari meeting AA and Shamari having a drinking problem. And Shamari was like, what is she talking about? She was like, She was like, I had one bad night. You are tripping. But I don't know. I ain't going to say nobody has a drinking problem because I think that's a very serious accusation. However, I will say Bravo definitely made sure to let people know that you drank. That's all I'm going to say. But that's pretty much how this episode went down. Like I said, it wasn't really no whole lot there, y'all. But next week is Eva's wedding, and we'll see Nene come back. Because, they said Nene had gotten suspended for an episode. So I guess this was the episode that she was suspended for. She wasn't allowed to film. Because they said that she didn't, her reason for not coming. They just said that she was dealing with her Miami store or whatever. But yeah, so she'll be there for the wedding for the next episode. So we'll see how it all goes down. The reunion was this weekend, and I heard it was very explosive, honey. But they always say that because they want you to watch it. And they said that at the end, Nene has unfollowed everybody on social media except for Marlo and Shamari. So some shit must have went down, including Cynthia. So now Cynthia was defending her ass in this episode. Now I don't know what went down in the reunion or what went down the rest of this season. I don't know if next week is the season finale or what. But it'll be interesting to see how this works its way out. Talk to y'all later. Peace.